Hello wonderful people, Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel, and today I'm going to be doing a dubstep sub-genre bracket. I was trying to think of an idea for today's video, so I passed it off to the video discussion channel on the new Discord server, which if you're not on it yet, the link is down below in the description. We're having a lot of fun, and I got some good suggestions, but one in particular from a Mr. Blackrock who said, why not do a bracket of different subgenres? Now, my initial thought with genre comparison is pretty much always no. You know, to be honest, I think it's the case with everyone that it isn't genres you like, but songs. You know, there are songs I love and hate and everything in between with every style of music I've ever heard, and that stretches far beyond electronic music. But then Mr. Blackrock said, well, what about conceptually, as in the concept of each style and just comparing them? And that made me think perhaps there are factors or aspects and more that I enjoy about some and not as much about others. Also, with some of them, the potential has been realised more with more available material, so they stand a better chance. So yeah, going to compare a load of dubstep subgenres here. I have 8 solid styles which I've typed out and will be randomised. I could have done 16, but it started to get a little bit tenuous choosing styles like glitch hop and mumblecore, which, whilst they do have dubstep elements to them, aren't strictly derived from dubstep. But yeah, we have original dubstep, we have brostep, rhythm, melodic dubstep, deathstep, vomitstep, which I chose over drumstep because it's a little bit more individualistic and noticeably different, and I think easier to identify, and then Briddim and Tear Out. Just going to compare them in each round and keep going, quarterfinals to final, until we have a winner. Capiche? Aye, let's go. Okay, here we are. We have them all typed out and waiting to be shuffled. So this is just the order I went through earlier. Now we are going to give them a good shuffle. So are we ready? Drawing the quarterfinals in the Nawtystep sub-genre bracket. Here we go. Oh, okay. So in the quarterfinals we have Vomitstep versus original dubstep, then Tear Out against melodic dubstep, brostep against rhythm, which is a fucking big one, and then to finish off, deathstep against Briddim. So let's go with the first one, the first quarterfinal, Vomitstep against original dubstep. For me, this one is a bit of a no-brainer. Vomitstep, we don't have a lot of material for at all. Only a few people have really done it, you know, Snails in particular, of course, the main practitioner, if you will. A few others here and there, as I said. And then original dubstep, which is the one that kicked the whole thing off, without which, you know, without the likes of Scream, Benga, and so many others, you know, Koki, I could go on and on. We just wouldn't have all of these other subgenres, and we wouldn't have bass as we know it today. So as a whole concept, as a thing, as a kind of powerful movement and style, there's only really one winner for me in this first quarterfinal between Vomitstep and original dubstep, and it's Vomitstep. Ah, just kidding. Fucking got ya. It's original dubstep. So original dubstep proceeds to the semi-final, where they will face either Tear Out or melodic dubstep, and we've got to do that one now. Okay, yeah, so second quarterfinal, Tear Out against melodic dubstep, and Tear Out has such a potential going forward. There are many people who have tried it out and are doing it on a quite consistent basis. You know, we have the likes of Marauder and Tramper before him, but on a more kind of low-key scale. Helisex, of course, as well, who are putting their own spin on that genre. So yeah, a lot of potential with it going forward, but there hasn't been that much kind of variation on it. I think people have put their own stamp on it, but there haven't been quite enough of those producers yet trying it out and kind of making it their own thing. Whereas melodic dubstep, I think it has so many different variants and so many different people doing it and putting their own spin on it. For me, it's a thing of again, Tear Out just being a bit too in its infancy, if you get me, and not having been utilised as a style quite enough yet. So for me, melodic dubstep with its scope and just range and amount of people who are doing it consistently and have been for many, many years. We're talking, you know, almost a decade kind of thing. I would have to go with that one. So second quarterfinal between Tear Out and Melodic Dubstep. I'm going to have to go with Melodic Dubstep for that one. Okay, now the third one is bound to divide opinion, and here we have brostep against Riddim, which many would see or deem fit for a semi-final or a final. You know, here we have a real clash of the titans situation. Two completely different movements and cultures and styles, but both of course sitting under the same kind of parent genre, that being dubstep. But this is quite a difficult one for many, I assume. Not so much for me, because for me, I know that brostep was the genre that not only got me into dubstep, but got me into electronic music as a whole. Whereas Riddim, I was introduced to it even though I'm aware that it was, you know, being made years and years ago. It's not one having been introduced to me a few years ago, you know, we're talking 2016, 17 kind of thing. It's not one that's enthralled me all that much. On the whole, you know, there is a lot of Riddim I've enjoyed in the last few years or so, but brostep for me was the one that started it all, and it just has more flavour and aggression and a bigger scope for invention and creativity. Riddim, the pace of it and the flow of it, whilst good, is quite limited in what it can bring on the structural side. Whereas brostep, I think, has a far bigger scope when it comes to midsections and including bits of musicality and just bringing in, yeah, different kinds of sequences as well. For me, only one winner, but I can imagine for many of you it will be more difficult. But yeah, this one will be interesting in the comment section down below. So tell me, let me know which one between brostep and Riddim you will have chosen. But for me, yeah, it's gonna have to be brostep. And the final quarterfinal we have here is another no-brainer for me in pitting Deathstep against Riddim. For me, Deathstep is a style of music with a lot of character and really honing in, or hones in, sorry, and focuses on delivering a specific thing, a haunting and scary and horrifying feel, which you can really get from the music, from introduction to drops and everything in between. It does really well for the most part to provide an image, and is so direct with the message and feel and atmosphere it wants to get across. Whereas Riddim, I think, for me anyway, is one of the poorest excuses for a subgenre that we've seen in dubstep for a long time. Feels like it's been exhausted already. I think the practitioners of it that we've got aren't really doing a lot to kind of branch it out and give it a lot of invention. There is just so much of it that sounds the same, boring, repetitive, just so bland, and all about the heaviness and next to nothing on the invention, melody, all of that. So on that note, I think you know which one is going through here between Deathstep and Riddim. It's got to be the former. Okay, just gonna do a bit of clicking so we can put the right ones through. So the semi-finals are in place. We have original dubstep versus melodic dubstep and brostep versus Deathstep. And so the first one here is, yeah, quite difficult. Struggling to choose between these two. Original dubstep, whenever I've heard it, even though it is the pillar for all of these genres, you know, and the starter for everything, you know, without it, we wouldn't be where we are right now in any way. Maybe I haven't listened to it enough, and the scope of it I just need to explore far more. It does feel to me a bit more limited structurally. There's just not that sense of musical scope with it, or structural scope as well, where you feel like you could just go off in any random direction, and it doesn't quite have that spontaneous and combustible feel like you would get with melodic dubstep, for example, where the music could just go off in any direction and it could be on either a structural or a musical or melodic, of course, level. Because with melodic dubstep, it's all about that kind of unpredictability and, yeah, just not really having any idea where it's going to go and letting the energy and liveliness of it just dictate the music and where it goes, and I love that about it. Whereas with original dubstep, even though there's song after song after song that is classic and iconic, and again, without them, we really wouldn't be where we are right now. With melodic dubstep as a concept, as a thing, from what I've heard so far in my life as a dubstep listener, it just feels much more full of life and exuberant, and for me personally, what I like to get out of music as an experience, you know. Even though original dubstep is in many ways the GOAT, and the reason we're all here, the reason this channel is a thing, melodic dubstep as a style is in many ways what I love most about this genre and music overall. So for me, there's only one winner when I dig a bit deeper beyond surface level, and that has got to be melodic dubstep. And now we have semi-final number 2, and this one, again, I think for a fair few, might be quite difficult. You know, out there, you have your brostep stands, you have your deathstep stands, and I think there are quite a few as well who kind of sit in the middle when it comes to which one they prefer more. For me, personally, it's quite easy. You know, even though I love deathstep and the whole feel of it, as I mentioned earlier in the quarterfinal with Bridham, it's just so to the point with how horrifying and scary it can be, and you have to love it for that. But for me personally, you know, brostep is that genre that got me into dubstep and electronic music for the most part. Very much been the pillar of my music experience in the last 10 years or so, which has led to me, you know, making this channel and being so passionate about it. I can appreciate all that deathstep is good for and what the likes of Code Pandorum have done for that movement and genre. For me, brostep is just between the two here. For me, it's the one. Okay, more clicking to do. Melodic dubstep into the final, and also brostep. So here we have the final, melodic dubstep against brostep. So the final. Now, a lot of people might say here, as we got brostep, we also got melodic dubstep, and many people won't really see a very definite difference between the two. Because of that, we're gonna have to establish some differences here. Melodic dubstep, a lot of melody, of course, and kind of driven by that. You would get it in the introduction and also the drops, but also midsection and any kind of surrounding sections as well. Whilst heaviness is there and present, the melody would have to be the focal point of it, as opposed to brostep, where the focal point is the yoys and the energy and the kind of knockout robotic appeal of it. So not too much flavour and melody in there, but the flavour is got from the gnarliness and kind of full throttle delivery and nature of the robot sounds. So that's the distinction I'm going to make. As to which one I prefer, let me put it this way. Would I rather have a mainly melodic dubstep tune driven by melody, as I said, you know, pretty standard dubstep, but with a bit of brostep in there? Or would I rather have a brostep tune, a mostly brostep tune, you know, full of yoys and growls and screeches and robot sounds and all of that, with a bit of melody in it? And if I'm being honest, brostep, the robot sounds, the yoys are just, they are what has got me into dubstep. That is what I love, really gnarly, full throttle. Then I do love a lot of melodic dubstep songs that just have a bit of brostep in them, you know, a few yoys and growls kind of laced in. No, actually, you know what? I just love the yoys. I just love the fucking yoys. I love the robot sounds. I love the growls. I love the screeches. Beastly music, you know, just so full of power and aggression and really, really dark feeling. And it's difficult, but nah, I think brostep just about edges it. You know, there is so much feeling to be had, of course, in melody, you know, the sweetness of it, and in combination with dark sounds in dubstep, it works so well when it's done right. But the whole robotic, aggressive, full throttle approach is just, it is just what I love. It's what I love most. And so for that reason, yeah, in this final between melodic dubstep and brostep, it's gonna have to go to brostep. I think here we have a winner. The final click, here we go, and there we have it. The winner of the Nawtystep dubstep sub-genre bracket is brostep. But yeah, there we have it, my dubstep sub-genre bracket. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you got a good insight as to which kind of subgenres in dubstep I prefer and which kind of aspects work well for me and which ones don't as much. That was really fun. I would love to know which ones you would have chosen for each round. If that's too long for you, maybe just go for a semi-final and final. But the brostep and rhythm one was particularly interesting, and I would love to get your thoughts on that one in particular, but all of them really. So if you have your thoughts, views and opinions, drop them in the comment section down below. And also, actually, I'm quite interested as to whether you thought there were any glaring subgenres I missed out on that I should have added in the quarterfinal stage. But yeah, that as well, do let me know. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, then be sure to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell along the way so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video to the channel, and my social media accounts and the new Discord server are linked below as well. But beyond that, keep it naughty. If it's naughty, then you know. And I will see all of you legends in the next one. Peace out.